Uh, nuclear fusion breakthrough. Or is it fission? Fission? Whatever. Either one. Artificial sun reactor sets a new world record by generating a steady loop of plasma for 1,337 seconds, taking the world closer towards limitless clean energy. That just broke right before I hit record. Had to pop it on because that shit scares me. As cool as that is, it scares the fuck out of me because just like anytime you're doing any sort of experiment, look at like if you're in the kitchen and you're like, I don't know, let's fuck around with paprika. And you're gonna screw it up sometimes. You're gonna screw up a meal. It's the same thing with science. Every now and then something's gonna get screwed up. You're gonna have a misstep. Next thing you know, boom, you blow up half the earth. It's neat. The artificial sun reactor, uh, in the fact that it's limitless clean energy, is great, but that's going to put a lot of companies out of business. So don't expect this to come around anytime soon, unless these unless these like oil companies and electric companies and all these other companies are able to profit off of it. Don't expect this anytime soon. Okay. There's going to be a lot of pushback. Look, I don't know. This is nonsense. It's not science. It's non-science. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. I don't like this. Fucking scientists, man. It's crazy what you guys can do. But the fact that they're going up against big oil and stuff like that's what's scary. Because it's got to be scary for the scientists because that's some deep pockets, okay, that they're going up against. But pretty neat, pretty neat.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
I'm not contractual obligated or contractually. I just said the wrong word, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't have to talk about you, Neil. Just because I'm talking science doesn't mean I need to go, hey, let's get Neil deGrasse Tyson's opinion on this.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
Oh, Jay, I get it. I get it. Oh, it's science. Bring me in, fellas. I got nothing to contribute. That's fascinating to me. And anybody that makes fun of somebody that is super smart and in love and loves going to school and educating themselves is an idiot. Hindsight, I was that idiot for the longest time in school. They go, oh, look at that nerd. Look at them learning. Yeah, well, they're running the world and they're changing the world. Fascinating. Freaking artificial sun. Oh, God. Could you imagine being the guy that fucks that up? Imagine, hey, let's turn on the artificial sun reactor. The last thing I want to hear from any sort of operator is, oh, fuck. That's the last thing I want to hear from somebody operating that. Ooh, forgot to do the, everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. Way to go. How did Earth blow up? Carl. You can just say Carl. He's the one that fucked it up. Way to go, Carl. Anyway, got a lot to get into to today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Very important that you hit the like button on wherever you're consuming this. Remember, today's show is presented to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. I laugh because I remember I was on Twitter last night and I look at BetOnline. They posted something crazy from some reality show where some dude is watching his girlfriend get banged. I'm like, what the hell am I watching? They're like, this is the light version of it. I'm like, oh God, can't wait to see the heavy version. Anyway, whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA to college basketball to NHL and UFC. BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, every win. Go to betonline.ag right now. It's BetOnline. The game starts here. Speaking of starting, let's do it. Let's jump into those headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
I get that we're a little bit bashful at times, and you do something in the privacy of your own home or your room, and you just don't want people to know about it. But that being said, when you get caught red-handed, um, just come clean. Just come clean and don't try to cover your tracks. What's the there's some sort of saying when it comes to when you bear essentially you're burying yourself in lies every time you lie, and it's just a spider web, and people just make things worse. Just come clean. I know it's hard. The moment is hard, but it's even worse if you're living on eggshells of lies. So don't be making things worse. A student in China set his dorm on fire trying to hide his inflatable girlfriend. The unnamed student was using an inflatable doll in his dormitory when his roommate returned early. Oh no. Squeaky, squeaky. It's just like plastic rubbing on each other. It's just weird. It got weird. The roommate came in, and since the student was using an inflatable doll, when his roommate returned, initially he tried to burn it in the dormitory hallway. Yeah, that's going to help. Be like, set it on fire. But the fire quickly spread. Thankfully, it triggered the alarm for the campus. Firefighters showed up, put the fire out. Nobody was hurt. Minor damage, other than this guy's credibility has gone right down the shitter. Okay. Obviously he's hiding the fact that he has an inflatable sex doll in his dorm. So that means he had to take the time to inflate it. So I don't know if he had a bike pump or if he was using his mouth or what. You're blowing it up. Have you ever blown up an inflatable pool toy? It's not that quick if you're using your mouth. I can't imagine that just, I'm going to get it. Yo, you're going to get it. Ooh, a little bit lightheaded. Oh, I can't wait to bang the shit out of you. Oh, God, here we go. Hold on. Got to take a seat. It's just funny to me. It's like, you're gonna want to go fast in that situation. If you have to blow up your girlfriend using your own lung power, you're gonna want to make sure that that's fast because you're exhausted. Your lungs are worn out by that point. How embarrassing! They didn't say if the kid was going to be expelled or suspended or whatever, but I can't imagine returning to school and you're gonna be welcomed. Although it depends how this guy wants to look at it. Be like, yeah, it's fucking a doll. Yeah, boo, boo, boo. If you own it, maybe people will be more accepting. Who gives a shit? But there's a good chance it goes the other way where he's super fucking embarrassed. Oh my God, dude. That's like the worst thing you could do. You get caught banging an inflatable doll and you're like, let's set it on fire in the hallway. Yeah, guess what? People know it's yours. If anything, just pop it real quick and be like, try to couple it up in a ball. You're trying to squeeze out the air. Nothing to see here. Her head's popping up out of between your arms. Next thing you know, you're like squishing it around, trying to get the air to come out. Next thing you know, her vagina's up there. Oh, it's good. Good stuff, guys. Listen, I don't know much, but I will say this. If you get caught banging a sex doll, just own up to it. Okay? Don't try to light it on fire, then throw it in a hallway. It's not going to end well. Not going to end well. My God. What a great interview that must have been to sit down with that kid and whoever you're the administrative office, you're the firefighters, you're the police officers, you're sitting there be like, so when did you think it was a good idea to set your sex doll on fire and throw her into a hallway? I don't know. I got to be honest. I was a little lightheaded still from blowing her up, and then I threw her in the hallway, and I'm like, maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. A pet monkey jumped through a Starbucks drive-thru. This happened like last month, but they're just reporting it. Jumped through a window and attacked a worker. This is in, I believe it was Arkansas, and then jumped back into the owner's car. Like, get the fuck out of here. I did my job. The monkey's jonesing for some fucking coffee. Jumps through the window, attacks the worker, and then just does whatever the fuck he does. I guess another employee came over and helped the attacked employee, got the monkey off her back. Oh! Boop, 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 boop. Thanks, everybody. I do 4 shows a week. Then it just jumped back into the car. Most likely the owner is going to face charges, but that's like the last thing you would expect if you're slinging coffee at a Starbucks or any sort of coffee shop is, you're handing out your caramel mocha frappuccino or whatever it is. And then you're like, oh, it's a monkey. Ah, it's on my face! It's on my face! Monkey, like chimpanzees can rip your face off. Thankfully, it wasn't one of those. Be like, oh my God, that's adorable. It reminds me of Curious George. Oh, look at he is curious. He's coming up to the window. Next thing you know, Carol loses her face. I don't like the fact that people have animals like that in their car. I guess it's the same thing. I guess technically that could happen with a dog. If you had a dog in the front seat, especially those little yapper dogs, those things are fucking vicious. You're like, here's your coffee, sir. Yep, 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 yep. Hey, if you got a dog nearby, let me know if this freaks them out. Okay, ready? Turn up the volume really loud. Yep, 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 yep. Any news? What happened? Well, the dog just bit the shit out of my phone. Crazy. That sucks for the Starbucks employee. That's got to be scary. I know I think there's a lot of times people take for granted of like when somebody's attacked at work. I mean that fucks you up. A big thing that gets blown over as like no big deal or you don't even think about it is bank employees or any employee that gets robbed. That fucks you up. I know several people that have been robbed at gunpoint, whether it was at a like say a quick serve restaurant or at banks, and that messes them up. Some people have to quit because they're just like so traumatized. I get it, but I've never experienced it. I always remember when we would go through the procedures of what do you guys do if you're on shift and somebody comes in and demands your money. As a young kid, you're always like, I'll say, fuck you, bro. Come take it. No, that's the worst thing you can do. You got to assume that they got a screw loose and they're willing to pop your ass. So you're supposed to just comply. Here you go. Take whatever. Take it. You want a burrito to go? No? Okay. Anyway, how about some chips and guac? Okay, I'm just trying to clear shit out before I close. So that's so scary. All joking aside, that's so scary. And now this lady's, or I don't know if it was a lady or a dude that got attacked at the Starbucks, but that's gonna live with them forever. And as simple as a gig as that is, as far as you're slinging coffee, now they're gonna have that like every time they see a fucking monkey, or every time they have somebody come up through a drive-through, if they happen to still be in that industry, it's gonna fuck them up. So yeah, I'm sorry. Keep your pets on a leash, especially a fucking monkey. We've done a lot of stories on monkeys within, say, a 12-month span. It's really weird, really weird. Runners at a 10K trail race in Glasgow. Is that Glasgow? In is that Scotland? Scotland. I don't know, somewhere over there. Were sent in the wrong direction by a prankster pretending to be a marshal and buried arrow signs marking the actual course. That that's funny but fucked up. It's so fucked. Oh, I'd be mad. Be mad. Be like, this 10K is taking forever. Holy crap. I have not seen a water station in forever. Why are we by a Dairy Queen? It's supposed to be on a trail. I don't know. Apparently, it's taking us over the interstate. Oh boy, this highway is busy. It's part of the trail. It's part of the trail. Uh, an organizer, well, actually, two organizers, Alex Osborne and Michelle Sinsheimer, told Sky News it's hard to laugh off the incident, as the prank led to runners away from medical help had it been needed. That's the thing, okay? That's where I hate pranks. Because what if somebody like broke a leg? What if somebody had a heart attack and then died because they're way over like 10 miles away or whatever it is? It's all fun and games till somebody gets hurt. It's funny though. Nobody did get hurt, so I guess technically it's funny. I feel like we just did a big loop-de-loop. I don't know. The marshal said it was fine. There's like pictures of the signs that the lady buried. They don't know. They don't know who did it yet. They just know it's some lady. All right, guys, I'm the marshal. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go that direction. Okay, we're gonna follow this little trail. Yes, it says off limits. Yes, it says it's a nuclear site, but we're fine. We're fine. Okay. If you see wild animals come towards you, just huddle up in a group. They're less likely to attack. Okay. My goodness. It's kind of funny though. Such a dick move. I'd be so. I don't know if you've ever done. I don't think I've done a 10. I did a 5K a couple times. I did a. It wasn't even. We did a full marathon, but as a team when I worked at the Fan, and I did the final leg, which I want to say was like 6 to 7 miles. It was a lot longer than I thought. And I didn't train for it, which was a huge mistake. So by the time I got to I didn't quit, but I went from roughly, I think it was in Vesco Field at the time, so Mile High Stadium. Went from there to, I think it was the Museum of Nature and Science in Denver. So whatever that span was, a really pretty run for some parts of it. I almost got hit by a car. Like my hand was on the guy's hood. There was a cop directing traffic, and he's letting me go because I'm part of the race. And I run, and this car in this gold sedan wanted to go, basically I stop, put my hand on the hood, and the guy just takes off. The cop's like, I'm sorry. Sorry. Well, you had one job, officer, and you fucked it up. I don't care. It's fine. I lived. I didn't get run over, technically. There was a lot of parts where I ran through Denver, and it just smelled like disgusting garbage. Ugh, could not get through there quick enough. But by the time I got to the final, I don't even know, like a half a mile, I was so freaking emotional because I didn't prepare. Like I said, I was exhausted. There was only like one. Oh, I want to say there was in our team. I don't know how much it was broke up. It was like by like 5 people. only one or two guys, JJ and I can't remember the guy named Patrick, were there waiting for me at the end. That's it. Like Mike Evans, a guy named Jake, they just fucking left. They did their part, didn't bother to go to the end and get a picture with everybody. It was just me, JJ, and Patrick, and some promotions guy that didn't run. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. I was like ready. JJ comes up next to me. How you doing? I'm not doing so well, JJ. I'm a wreck. Hold me. But I went and did it. It was fun. So I can't imagine if all of a sudden I'm like halfway through that and I realize somebody had me take a detour to make the run even longer. Oh, I'd be pissed. Be pissed. I'm not a huge runner anymore just because my hip especially just fucked everything up. But I used to love to run. I got a buddy that runs, same with his wife, like on a daily basis. They're in very good shape. But I wish I could do it. It just scares me now just because of all my fucked up body. Way to go, whoever made this body. I know it looks like a Greek god made it, but no, no. It's basically all the miscellaneous parts lying around the ground. They're like, shit, got one more guy to make. Whatever. There, that's the huff. It doesn't look right. It's fine. It'll do. I don't think it's going to pass inspection. It's fine. Fine. I said it's fine, Doug. Leave it alone. Okay. But I'm just saying, fucking Doug, stop it. Sure, it looks like shit. Sure, it's barely functional. It's fine. Let it go, Doug. Let it go. Let's jump into some sports.
Going deep, tight ends and long balls.
He starts to come and then he pulls out.
Oh, gross!
It's sports with the Huff.
So I'm on Twitter this morning and I see this video and I'm like, oh boy, I love this conversation. PK Subban. Is that how you say it? Subban? Subban. I hear so many people say it differently, so it confuses me. I got a small brain. Small brain. By the way, I love his commentary. We'll get into this. He's talking about, because somebody from the NBA said, we should do something similar as what the NHL is doing with their whole thing when it comes to hockey. I'm like, oh, it's okay, because like USA's taking on Canada. You got a big old rivalry going on due to politics. Plus, that's naturally a rivalry anyway. So it makes it even more exciting. Well, PK decides to get into the conversation of hockey versus basketball. What's the difference?
Hockey's a different sport from the NBA. You can't compare the cultures because of the way the game is played. You can step on an NBA floor and go through the emotions. You can't do that in hockey. The culture of our sport, you have to play it with passion. You have to be willing to fight. You have to be willing to leave it on the ice. That's what fans are investing in. So for us, when we charge $1,500 for a ticket to come to fans know what they're getting. Cale Makar, the best defenseman in the world, wasn't in the lineup for this game. This was the most viewed game that we've had in years. And you see it, it's because it's not just based on the skill and talent. It's based on the pride, honor, playing for the guy next to you. I got a question for the NBA players. What the hell are you playing for? What are you playing for? It's not about the money. You make all the money. What, you're injured? Well, there's a difference between being hurt and injured. Are you hurt or are you injured? There's a difference. In hockey, we play hurt. We play injured. That is the culture of the sport. It's always been that way. So you want to talk about the business, the CBA, fans get all of that. But what do fans resonate with? They resonate with what's real. You got to fight sometimes for your country. You got to compete. You got to go out there and leave it on the ice because those people are paying the price of admission. So fans know whether our stars are on the ice or not, they're getting their money's worth. The NBA has that issue that they got to work on. You got to create a better culture for your players. It starts with the leaders. This issue, there was no issue when Jordan was around. There was no issue when Kobe was around. There's no issue when Sidney Crosby's around. There's no issue when Wayne Gretzky was around because those are true leaders. They lead by example. Sidney Crosby, Hockey Canada, those players, both Canada and U.S., it was the players that did that for the four nations. It's not the league. The league set it up, but the players went out there and decided and said, you know what, boys? We're all in. When is the NBA going to do that? Because, I haven't sat down and watched the NBA consistently since Kobe. Since Kobe has died, I have not sat down and watched the NBA consistently. I love basketball, love the players. I think LeBron's great. I think KD's great. Steph Curry, love watching them. But you got to be on the court. You got to be there. And when you're there, you got to go all in. The fans got to feel that they're getting their money's worth. And right now, there's a big difference between what the NHL's doing with those events and what the NBA is doing. Four Nations works because the players are all in.
I love that. Good stuff. If you want to watch it again, I have it on my Facebook page, facebook.com. Just search DeHuff Podcast and make sure you like the page, follow the page, all that stuff, and you'll see what you can watch the video again. He's right. Here's the thing that sucks about what he's saying. The NHL gets it, NBA doesn't, but more people watch the NBA than the NHL. And it sucks because he's right. It's changed a lot, the NBA has, because so many guys are resting on a regular basis. So many guys are, I got a little tweak in my ankle or a tweak in my knee or something. I'm just going to sit out. I got a hangnail. Ouch. Son of a bitch. Can't play, guys. Now, that's not all the players. There are some players in the NBA that do go out there and play injured. But when you look at it in comparison to hockey, there's really no comparison. It's like, holy shit, those guys are tough. I would say it goes from, I would say rugby and hockey are pretty equivalent when it comes to toughness. It doesn't matter if it's women's or men's. They're both up there as far as toughness goes. Then there's a big gap, and then you go football. There are guys that play injured in the NFL. There are. And here's the thing. I get it. It's one of those things where you play injured, you're jeopardizing your future. You could make things worse. As a doctor, I would have to say, I'm not a doctor. God dang it. I almost made it sound like I was. If I were playing doctor, it would bug me. Yes, you're injured. You should probably sit back and rest and recover and make sure you don't make the injury worse. And that could be one of those things where you play the game, you finish the game. Yes, you were injured, but guess what? Now you're out, like, say, 6 weeks instead of a week. Something like that. But the thing is also going back there is you can't go through the motions on the ice when you play hockey. You can't just be like, I'm here, I'm skating, I'm just going to slap that puck every now and then. No. You can do that in the NBA. You see guys just kind of half-assing it. LeBron at times. Not always LeBron. When LeBron steps on the gas, he's fucking money. But the problem is NBA is not helping its case by constantly guys resting. Oh, I've been playing a lot. I'm going to take a break. I've never played at a professional level of anything in sports, but I've covered it. And you can see the decline of the NBA when it comes to effort. It's true. They become softer and softer. They have their moments where these NBA players are great and they're tough. But Jesus Christ, if there's any sort of obstacle in their way, they're going to take a break. Again, it's not all of them. It's not all of them. But you got guys like Joel Embiid, who hasn't played in Denver against his quote unquote nemesis, Nikola Jokic, in what is it? 1,000 some days, something like that. It's something wild. Because there's always an injury. It's like, dude, if you're that injured, fucking retire. Otherwise, fucking nut up. And it's not like it's a concussion. Concussion's one thing. If you got a concussion, you fucking rest. Because otherwise, you're going to be scrambled eggs the rest of your fucking life. And that's not good. But if you got a little bit of tenderness in your knee, you got a little bit of a sore ankle, fucking nut up. Look at like when Kobe popped his Achilles and he still finished his free throws. It's like, Jesus Christ. You see guys stub their toe and they're like, I need help off. I need help off. Oh, sweet Lord, it's ending. And then they're back like 20 minutes later. Like, oh, yeah, I just had to get a juice box. Now I'm good. Needed some high C. Had some crackers too. Sorry, guys. Would have been back a few minutes earlier, but those bag of crackers weren't going to eat themselves. It's obvious. And it sucks because I can't say that I'm an expert in either of those two sports. But if I had the choice to sit down and watch a basketball game, mid-season basketball game, so who knows? I'll say this. Actually, not watch, go to a mid-season basketball game or a mid-season hockey game. I'd rather go to the hockey game. Why? Because like what PK is saying, is they put out an amazing product no matter what, no matter who's on the ice. There's times you go and watch the NBA games and you're just like, oh, the Lakers are playing. Ooh, this would be a good game. Guess what? LeBron's sitting. Shit. That's fucking frustrating. As a fan, or even a casual fan, that's frustrating. You just spent all this money to go see a great product, and nah, you're not getting it because LeBron needs to rest. He, had a tough day. I don't know what he did. Tough day of acting. Had to do some shitty movies and crazy, crappy appearances somewhere. I don't know. The thing is hockey, I don't think will ever be as popular as the NBA. And that's sad because I think it's a better product as of right now. Has it always been the case? No. It used to be really fun to watch the NBA when guys would go out there and muck it up and you could tell that they're banged up, but they're giving 100 fucking percent. There's times where I tune in and I'm like, no, what the fuck is that shit? Guys just sitting there. I love it when the games go full throttle and it's just right and left, exchanging blows. That's fun. It just doesn't happen that much. And maybe I'm not explaining it that great. Maybe I'm not. But the point is, the NBA does have a lot of work to do on its product, and the product is the players, and the players need to step up their game. Go out there and give full effort. Go out there. It's funny because, like, explaining to my kids my son's doing winter practice for baseball. I drive him up to this place, and it's really nice. And I told him, I was just like, it's okay to fall on the ground and dive for the ball. It's okay to do that. It's actually kind of fun. It might hurt at first. It might sting a little bit, but guess what? You actually get used to it and it makes it a lot more fun. It's like put in that extra inch or two of effort to get down Now, he hasn't done it yet, but it's just once some of these guys, it's just like, just go that extra, put in that extra effort. I see some of the kids that my son's training with, and they do that, and it's really fucking noticeable. It's really noticeable. And the same thing is when you're watching the NBA, it's really noticeable the guys that are putting in 100%, and it's really noticeable the guys that are putting in 80. I want a roster full of 100 percenters, not a bunch of 80 percenters. That's terrible. That's terrible. It's the same thing at your work. Do you want somebody that's gonna give them a project and they crush it every single time because they put in full effort, or do you want that person that is, I don't, it's hit or miss, hit or miss. They're gonna show up today and do the job well, or they're not. I want somebody that's gonna rock out with their cock out every single fucking time, and you don't get that in the NBA. Feel like you get it in the NHL. And watching this USA Canada rivalry, like I said, there's a lot of political, uh, you know, energy around it as well. And that intensifies it. And the fact that, Canada's pissed off at the US for saying, we're going to buy you essentially. We want to make you our 51st state. And they're like, what the fuck, dude? No, we're just up here, playing hockey, drinking maple syrup, and hammering some Molsons. And now you want to come up here and take us over? We have good health care. We don't want your health care type of thing, right? They're just minding their own business and boom, getting blindsided by that shit. So that pisses them off. So then it just adds to the energy. And there's just nothing like that in the NBA. And there's a million reasons why. It's listen, I never thought I would be really rooting to see a hockey game this time of year. I usually don't tune in until the playoffs. Although now that I have access again to the Avalanche, I'm starting to tune in a little bit more. But I'm going to be watching this game on Thursday, tomorrow. USA versus Canada. I believe they're in Boston. It's going to be fun. It's neat. But basketball doesn't have anything like that. Baseball kind of does, but it's still not as passionate. There's no true rivalry. There's, it, I guess it, I guess in a weird way, you kind of had it in the Olympics, but it's still not that exciting. The USA doesn't seem to put that much of an effort. There's not that much pride to be part of the Olympic team. Nobody's out there going, yeah, we're gonna fuck everybody up. We're, Team USA. It's LeBron James, Steph Curry, blah, blah, blah. All these guys, right? Taking on the world. They just don't have that energy about it. They're like, nah, I've done it before. Done it before. No real passion to represent. So it's interesting. Are you going to watch the USA Canada game? At least tune in for a little bit. Like I said before, I'm not huge on the knowledge when it comes to hockey. I'm like, why did they stop playing? What? Huh? What happened? But I can sit there and watch and be like, this is exciting. This is fun. Oh God. The amount of hits that you see and the fact that these guys get back up. They're spitting out their teeth, going back out there and continuing to play. When you see dudes get stitches in their forehead, then they come back 5 minutes later. That's a tough sport. That's a sport that you're just like, holy shit, they love this game. I don't see, holy shit, they love this game very much in the NBA. Anyway, let me know your thoughts to huffuncensored@gmail.com. Or you can comment here below. Do you see the passion in the NBA as equivalent to the NHL? I don't know. I don't. I don't. Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from James the Second. James, just call it what it is. You're James Jr. JJ. Hi, JJ. James said, do you think we're living in a simulation? Sometimes I feel like the answer could be yes. Thanks, man. You rock. No, you rock, bro. James the Second. You sound like you could be in, what is that? I just watched that with the Wild Stallions. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It'd be like, my name's James Theodore the Second. All right? That's what it sounds like to me. Do you think we're living in a simulation? Such a weird question. There's times where you look at things and you're like, what if we were living in a simulation? I would like to find the algorithm, the flow of information that leads me towards the success I want, and then just figure out how to dip into that. I mean, you could technically say that that's what people are doing when they're just dipping into the right algorithm and in order to find success. And is that part of a simulation? Possibly. Is it, if you're in a simulation, does it matter what you do? Will you always be this type of character? Will you be this type of, you make this amount of money regardless of how hard you try? Possibly. Listen, if we are, we are. It's a very elaborate simulation, a very elaborate program that we're in. There's some scientists that believe, yes, we are. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. Just say that. I mean, part of me, like, when you start really diving into politics, you start diving into the way things run, financially, just how just everything runs on this planet. It just gets very tiring and exhausting. If we are in the simulation, it'd be nice if you could just unplug. And there are people that, quote unquote, unplug by going living off the grid. As I get older, the more and more I appreciate that. I'm not big on somebody on being someone that likes to camp. I don't like that. Don't like that. But I get it. I get why people do it. Because when you start the more you deal with corporations in just businesses in general, you realize that how many people do you interact with are actually kind, good-hearted people. It's sometimes it feels like it's slim pickings. People are always wanting something for free. I experience that a lot. Well, we love your services. Love for you to advertise. We just don't want to pay you. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. Um, the simulation thing is fascinating. We would never find out. We would never find out if we actually were in a simulation. I know some people think, well, I have proof. I have proof. It's this. It's the Mandela effect stuff that goes on. We remember things one way, but it's actually this way. Or did it switch somewhere along the line? Come on, man. I can't trust anything I see on the internet anymore. I can't. Human beings, it is well documented that we have shit for memory. You misremember things all the time. So I tend to throw out the Mandela effect stuff. We tend to remember things a certain way. It's it, Jiffy or Jif. Is it Jiffy or is it Jif peanut butter? Well, it's always been Jif. I remember it being Jiffy. Really? I don't fucking know. Who cares? It, what does it matter if we are in a simulation or not? Not to shit on your parade, James the Second, but does it matter? It's fascinating to think about. It is. But at the end of the day, does it matter? No, no. Unless somehow you're able to manipulate the simulation and achieve success on it. And that's fantastic if you can. But ultimately it doesn't matter if you are. What are you going to do about it? What, is this like Free Guy? Do you see the movie with Ryan Reynolds, Free Guy? Is he somehow going to break through the game, through the programming, and exist on another platform, on another server? Come on, guys. Come on. I just, listen. If we are, find a way to achieve success through it and manipulate the simulation, then, and bring me along, please, for the love of God. But otherwise, I wouldn't sweat it too much. I think it's fascinating to think about. There's a lot of fascinating things to think about when it comes to our world and how we function, whether it's is there alien life out there? Is it from above or is it from our oceans? I don't know. It's fun to debate that. Am I going to lose sleep over it? No. No. Are there conspiracy, groups out there that help cover up certain things? Illuminati or the Freemasons or whatever? Maybe. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Try not to lose sleep over these things because it's just going to fuck up your day. Try to be productive. Listen, if we are in a simulation and you're thinking too much about the fact that we are in a simulation, guess what? The simulation's winning. Try to beat it. As far as I do my job and I look at it as far as what's black and white. I need to do this, this, and this in order to be successful in my mind. Also, real quick side note to get too preachy. Success isn't always about finances. I know finances make things a lot easier. Trust me, I know that. I'm a small business owner who gets fucked over by other small businesses at times. And that shit pisses me off, and I don't need to go down that path. But at the end of the day, are you happy with your home life? Are you trying to be better at who you are? Yes, I know we all run into these hurdles every now and then. Like, fuck, I forgot to do this. I was too focused on something else, and now I neglected to do something I was supposed to do. We all fuck up. We all do. But at the end of the day, are you trying to be a better person? Are you trying to find happiness? Are you trying to project love? That's really what we should be doing. I really kind of derailed your question, James. But at the end of the day, that's what we should be doing. Not focused on, these celebrities and shit like that. I see so many people, like my wife is on TikTok still, and she's just like listening to these people complain about their life. They're waiting for people to ride in on a white horse and save them. Oh my God, this is what's happening. People are giving them gifts right and left. It's like they're not doing anything about their life. They're other than begging for people to come in and donate them money. Like that's not helping you. That's not helping. They're scamming people. That being said, if you want to donate to the show, please let me know. DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. Always willing to take a dollar. I don't know. At the end of the day, guys, let's just focus on being good people. Easier said than done sometimes. I get it. Life sucks. Sometimes we get kicked in the dick, vagina, whatever it is. Okay. And it's not fun. It's not fun. But let's not try to, if we're in a simulation, just try to beat the simulation, but not let it beat you. Anyway, that makes no sense. Makes no sense. I don't know what the fuck I just spewed. I just blacked out. I blacked out for 2 minutes. What happened? What happened? Why are my pants down? Oh. Well, hello there, little fella. Oh, my God. Somebody's excited, aren't you?
You have a massive erection.
Yeah, good times. Good times. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Oh, why did I put order pizza?
Did someone order a pizza? Because I already ate it.
I know why. Because I saw I was scrolling through, I think it was Twitter, and there was something be like, this is the best way. This influencer says this is the best way to reheat pizza. Okay, it's not the microwave. I don't have to click on the article to have some dipshit tell me how to reheat pizza. If you have a microwave and that's all you got, go ahead. If you want to eat cold pizza, that rocks. I like it. Slap some hot sauce on it. Oh my God, yes, delicious. But if you have an oven, that's the way to go. If you have the oven and patience, do that because it's going to make it taste really good. If you have an air fryer, there you go. Slap it in the air fryer. Good to go. Tastes like it's just straight from the pizza place. Boom. Boom. Wow. Guess what? Saved you some time. You don't need to go read an article on how to reheat your pizza. Eat it however the fuck you want. But I will say, if you put in the effort to do the oven or an air fryer, holy shit, it's delicious. So fucking good. So good. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining the show. Really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you could, please. Then, if you're able, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Big thanks to Bet Online. Go ahead and check them out at betonline.ag. Also, give them a follow on social media. They put some weird stuff up there, and I like it. I like it. So good. It might be some dude banging some other dude's girlfriend while he watches. I don't know. It's weird, but hey, I watched the video. I did. I like it. Anyway, you guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.